For us this week, we decided that we wanted to take some issue with the Academy Awards and put the 4 biggest snubs in each of our opinion on blast. And I'm going to start with Jake. You got some qualms and you got some real good points to make.
Oh, do I have some qualms? All right. I'm going through all 4, correct?
Yep, all 4.
Perfect. So we're going to start it off with not the most impactful, but argue like one that when I was researching this, I was like, wait a second, this didn't happen. Christopher Nolan didn't even get nominated for Best Director for Inception. Just insanity.
Yeah.
Complete insanity.
Happens.
Makes no sense. Another movie that often gets kind of lumped in with Inception is Interstellar, and Hans Zimmer not winning Best Score for Interstellar. Again, makes no sense.
Yep.
I don't think you can imagine what space sounds like more than what space sounds like in that movie. Like, it just gave you that feeling like, oh shit, I'm in space. Maybe I had too many edibles before I watched it. Who knows? But still. Next up, Christian Bale not winning Best Actor for American Psycho. I thought Christian Bale was a serial killer when I saw him in any movie for like 10 years afterwards.
Do you know, I'm sure you've heard this, where he got the inspiration for Patrick Bateman? How to play him?
I have heard this. It's not coming to me.
He watched Tom Cruise give an interview on a late night show. And he's like, there's no light behind his smile. He smiled and there was nothing behind his eyes. He's like, and I based my character.
Space.
Yeah, he's like, I based my character off of Tom Cruise. He's like, he was just so fake.
Yeah, fits.
Why are we still making Mission Impossible?
These are the questions. And then last up, it's hinted at if you are a live viewer or you're watching this after the fact that Leo didn't win Best Actor for Wolf of Wall Street.
Do we know who did?
I don't remember. Let me look. I remember distinctly watching it that year, and the camera just pans, like, is on him. Like, everybody and their mom was expecting him to win, and then he just didn't. And the camera was like, they didn't have anybody, like, no camera pointed on the winner.
Yeah, I think.
Well, and that wasn't the first time it happened for him, right? Okay, here, I'm looking it up. I got it.
I don't think he got one until like 4 or 5 years ago.
The Revenant for him to get it.
So 2016, he got it for The Revenant. But yeah.
So
a few
it was like a running thing with Leo that he was so overdue for an Oscar, and he kept missing it. And like, who won?
He lost to Matthew McConaughey. I don't know how to say his name. Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
makes
get
sense.
It. I get it.
Like,
yeah.
But I do think that was Leo's year to win. As good as Dallas.
That was kind of a tough.
I have to say this. This might be a bit of a hot take on acting. Method acting shouldn't get you more brownie points.
Preach.
Like, I don't care what you do in between the takes. I don't care how long you stay in character, and I don't care how much weight you lose. That's not acting.
It's the movie.
It's the movie. It's how is your performance in the movie. I don't care how much weight you lost in the 5 months leading up to the movie. That's not acting.
To be honest, I don't think you should do that.
I don't think you should do that either. Like, what if people people like Christian Bale are notorious for doing it, right? Like losing so much weight, like for The Machinist,
also not,
and then gaining it all back for Batman. Like their livers must be failing. Like, it's scary, it's weird, and it really, I think, glorifies like really bad behaviors in actors. Because they're like, oh, I stayed in character, so I was playing a jerk, so I kept being a jerk. I'm like, that just sounds like an excuse for you to be an asshole. Like, I wouldn't want to hang out with you.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
I don't know.
Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Like, I think I could let some actors get away with it, honestly. Like, if you're talented enough and I'm like, you're just a crazy person, like, all right, I get it.
Well, I think that's how he is.
But Jared Leto's like not good enough of an actor to be doing the shit he does. I'd be like, we're fighting. Like, if you sent me a used condom like he did on the set of Suicide Squad, I would freak out.
But 30 Seconds to Mars is a great band.
No, they're not. You
like Shinedown.
I do like Shinedown, and they're significantly more talented than 30 Seconds to Mars. I don't think anyone would argue that.
I mean, if you're talking just the talent of the singers, yes, I think
it's
like has much better songs.
No,
but regardless, Leo should have won. Dallas Buyers Club was good. Wolf of Wall Street was a legendary movie.
I agree. I can get behind that. I think all 4 of yours were very good. I think they were strong.
Yeah.
I'll go next. I'll do my snubs. Alfred Hitchcock never won Best Director. Not once. This man revolutionized the horror genre, created so many shots and styles that have lived on in like perpetuity. That shower scene in Psycho, it's the number one thing you think about when you think of horror movies. Most people think, and like, not one Best Director.
I will say I had to put a lot of thought power into not making all of these horror movies because the genre is just
it's wildly underrepresented.
It's wildly disrespected.
Well, that's how I feel about comedies.
I agree. I'm with you on that too. I don't think a movie has to be. This is my issue with fucking Adrian Brody, right? Like, not once have I watched a Best Picture winner and thought that looked like a fun movie to make. It never is. It never is. I'm like, why do these people all have to be miserable? Why does every story that's considered good have to be a sad story or boring as shit, like a complete unknown?
I also don't need you
about Bob Dylan.
I don't need you to act your fucking ass off in the movie. Like, I just need it to be a good movie. Like, there's sometimes where, like, Steve, you and I have talked about this before on Take Two, where it's like, sometimes they're acting too well. Where you can just, it almost becomes not believable because you've seen that person before in other things. Right. And you're like, I can tell how hard you're trying to be your character and it just doesn't work. That shouldn't, and that goes back to what you said with like the method acting thing, I think, to an extent, where it's like, I don't need Matthew McConaughey to look like somebody like an AIDS patient in the 1970s to tell me he was a good actor in that movie. I didn't, because Leo, honestly, I could just believe that was Leo. And that's what sets me apart for that one.
A little bit of a different standard because Leo already like looks like his character in that movie, like a business asshole, bro. And
but like I
get what you're saying, and I do think you're right. And like,
think of the movie Philadelphia with Tom Hanks, right? Like maybe he lost a little bit of weight, but certainly nothing like McConaughey did. And you fully believed he was suffering of AIDS in that movie.
Every Tom Hanks is a great example because every movie that he's in, I fully believe he could be the character he's playing.
Yeah. He's kind of, I'm going to say this, and this might be like bad to say. I think it's because he's not like crazy over the top handsome. I think really, really handsome people have a very hard time convincing anybody that they're anyone other than themselves. Like,
well, because also then it becomes unrealistic that there's just this like outrageously attractive person going around and I don't know, existing.
Except sometimes they do get away with it. Like the man in the picture below me, Ralph Fiennes did not win Best Supporting Actor for Schindler's List.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
I cannot think of a single better acting performance of all time than him in Schindler's List.
Yeah.
I watched that as a grown man. I've seen it multiple times. It's a hard movie to watch, and it's a hard movie to watch because he is truly terrifying in this movie. You just look at and you believe every second and every word of him on screen. You're like, yeah, this dude's a full-on Nazi.
Yep, you're a Nazi. Like that's
like this dude's a real Nazi. Like this is not good. Like you buy it so much.
Phenomenal actor.
He is. The fact that he doesn't have an Oscar is crazy to me. This should have gotten him an Oscar. I don't have it offhand who he lost to. I thought I had written it down and I didn't.
Find it.
And
what was that?
To me, that's egregious. Yeah, egregious. It's unacceptable that happened. I really, oh my God, it's pissing me off just to think about it. The other two I have, Brokeback Mountain lost to Crash for Best Picture.
He lost to Tommy Lee Jones from The Fugitive.
Yeah, and I thought that was a fine performance, but certainly not this.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who's seen Schindler's List knows like just the power of that movie and how good it was.
It's a very emotional movie.
And then my last snub, Goodfellas, lost to Dances with Wolves for Best Picture.
Yeah, Crash was a terrible movie. It wasn't
Crash was bad. Crash was bad.
Just objectively bad.
Brokeback Mountain, like, you'll never convince me it didn't. It got snubbed because of the content, right? Like, because of the subject matter. I think there was
There's no reason it shouldn't have won.
It was the best. It was the best picture of that year, just by the standards of the Academy.
By far,
standards of the Academy. It just was the best movie of the year. So that really blows my mind that didn't. This one, though, again, I just can't get past fucking Ray Fiennes not winning. Trash.
Valid.
Round us out.
Yes. Okay. So my first one is, and maybe this will piss some people off. I don't care. We're going with a music take. It is the fact that How Far I'll Go from Moana lost for Best Original Song to La La Land. La La Land is trash. I
agree.
Firmly believe that. I don't think
a
single scene or song or moment from that movie is memorable, except for that final scene with the two different men in the like. That is the only part of the movie that I remember from it. Otherwise, I just remember watching it and thinking, I am not entertained. I am not particularly enjoying it. Nothing is Moana. Like,
fine.
This song is a banger. I'm sorry. This is a top I want song of all time in a musical.
I agree.
I liked La La Land. I, to this day, can't sing a song from the movie, but I will just walk around my house just belting How Far I'll Go.
Sure.
Yes. It is wild. Also, this is one of the two nominations that Lin-Manuel Miranda has not won for an Oscar, which is the only thing keeping him from an EGOT. So,
really?
Further bullshit. Yep. Yeah, the other one was, it was another Disney. It was something from Encanto. Oh, yeah, Dos Oruguitas from Encanto that he lost, which that I didn't think was I think
there's better songs in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. There's better songs in the movie. It's fine. He still should have
Surface Pressure is the best song in
Surface Pressure.
Encanto.
Fucking banger.
Personally, I think that's the best song in Encanto, and I love We Don't Talk About Bruno, but I just think that's the best one. What's your next one?
I almost put We Don't Talk About Bruno in here, actually. Anyways,
that song swept the nation.
Yes, it's a great song. Anyways, my next one is Jim Carrey in The Truman Show not winning Best Actor. He lost that to, is it, oh god, I thought I had that written down.
Roberto Benigni.
Roberto Benigni, yeah.
Is that right?
Is that an actor or a movie?
Life is Beautiful.
Okay.
The fact that we have no idea.
Yeah.
The three of us collectively are like.
I think that shows. Also,
I
Truman Show is one of those movies that kind of just it stuck with me after all these years, and it is a rare time when a comedy movie has broken through to get top at least get into contention, serious contention at the Oscars. And Jim Carrey as well. He is a phenomenal actor, but because he's mostly in comedic roles, he's been nominated a few times, and I don't think he's ever won, and I don't know what he could do more to win. This should have won him one.
The worst part is it doesn't even look like he was nominated, yet he is the movie.
I thought he was.
From what I can tell,
the movie is nominated though, right?
The director for Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Screenplay. It was nominated for so many things.
Supporting actor was nominated over him.
Yeah, Ed Harris.
I think the problem is we'll never see Jim Carrey be better than he was in The Truman Show, right? And it's not a knock on Jim Carrey. It's just that was a phenomenal performance.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
That was an Oscar turn, but again, it's a comedy movie, right? I know it's a kind of a melodrama too, but it absolutely was a comedy movie, and it got punished for being one.
Yeah, but on the flip side, let's talk about another snub that this time did lose to a comedy, which is wild, and it's 2001: A Space Odyssey that lost to Oliver the Musical. I'm sorry, 2001: A Space Odyssey has influenced major blockbusters to this day. And Oliver the Musical, all I can tell you is consider yourself at home. And that's only because I used to play that on the piano. Only because I took piano lessons, and it's a nice, easy tune there.
That's crazy.
2001: A Space Odyssey is a seminal movie picture.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, wild. And my last one, which is I would say kind of like your Alfred Hitchcock take, and maybe it's a silly one, I don't care. John Hughes John Hughes never got an Oscar. He never even got nominated for an Oscar, I think. Or like maybe he had one or two for like writing, but it was none of the movies that you would know. Like he
Right.
defined a genre and an era of movies, and to just be
Yeah.
entirely snubbed. And like it speaks to how they don't like certain genres. And I'm like, do you
They don't.
add categories for those then? Because they're wildly underrepresented, and like it's too
I'm
bad.
surprised he didn't get a nom for either Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or Breakfast Club. I feel like one of those two
Yeah.
should have gotten him a nod.
I think Breakfast Club certainly should have, but yeah, it's weird. And they did like a little like like in remembrance, in memoriam segment to him, honoring him, but like kind of slap in the face at that point, you know.
Yeah.
He won the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards. Yeah, never got nominated for an Academy Award.
That's crazy to me. That's another guy that,
Well-
like, I think sometimes the Academy is so pretentious. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
like,
Make a fart joke, can't be. Nope, you're out.
right.